Well, good afternoon. Everybody that had a great time at the assembly, let's show it by a standing ovation.
I'm really having an incredible time with you guys today, man. I am who you exactly see, man. I love, just being close to God's people and just being very close to people and just them getting a chance to just know my heart and I enjoy when it's reciprocated. And so thank you for all the love and just the kindness that y'all have shown me since I walked into the room, since I walked on this campus. And I'm really just enjoying the fact that I'm seeing just people that look like me continuing to just push the bar further and just take it higher. That's very inspiring because sometimes you're in environments where you're the only individual that has your hue, and so to be in these type of environments, you have no idea, but it's very inspiring to me. We've been in the studio the last several months, and leaving 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, staying up trying to take my kids to school and trying to spend time with wifey and make sure she's good, because if mama not happy, ain't nobody happy. and she's my first ministry, and I don't want to fail at home and try to win outside the house. And so I really try very hard to make sure that my wife and my children know that I live to serve them and that I live to make their lives as happy as it can be. And we've been really running and tired, and so left the studio late last night and came home, get ready to go to bed, and my 13-year-old wanted to play Uno. And so we stayed up for a couple hours and played Uno and trying to get a few hours and came here. But I need to let you know that I wanted to come. I was excited to come because you guys can invite anybody. When I get calls from universities to come speak, I'm still blown away when people want to hear me, because there's so many different levels of intellectual thought that you guys can engage in, where you can call other individuals to do that, to inspire you philosophically and share different points of ideologies and so on. But for you to want to invite me to just share whatever part I can, just in the journey of your young people, it is a very humbling thing, and I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. And so whenever you guys would love for me to come back and do anything at any level, just know that we would be very excited to get a phone call from you guys to do anything. So thank you so much. So if there's anything that you think that I could add to any aspect of what you guys are doing at this beautiful campus or individually, please feel free to, we can open it up and have any type of level of dialogue you want to, because I'm just so happy to be here. So, I think this mic works.
No, they're recording on that one. So
okay.
You have to talk in
there. This mic is recording. Okay.
Hi, Kirk.
Hey, you.
I just have one question for you.
What's your question?
What do you think about that Vesper choir?
I just asked my good friend to my left, do they compete? Because they sound like a competing choir. Because just the sonics of what they do, I haven't heard that before. And especially on any college campus, I was not prepared for that. And so I asked the chancellor, what type of fine arts program do you have here? Because just not only the choir, but the band, everything sonically was so tight. I'm extremely impressed, and I hope I get a chance to maybe come back and, I don't know, maybe do something with them or maybe sit in or something, because they sounded incredible. I was really
Good afternoon.
Hey.
Hi. I enjoyed you this morning. You talked about courage. What was the point, or what gave you the courage to even step out into this sector to get into gospel music?
courage is coming later on in life for me. I think that there are seasons in your life that God literally carries you because you can't carry yourself. And I think that there are seasons in your life that God uses you before you know how to be used. He does, as Scripture does say, that he can use the foolish things, as Paul would say, to confound the wise. And I know for many years he was using a foolish thing here, where when I started doing gospel music, I had no idea that I even had ability. When I was coming up, dreaming was a luxury. It was a luxury I couldn't afford. So really coming up as a kid, I didn't have dreams. The only thing I had was songs. I had songs, I could play the piano. And, the first album was a fluke. I did the album with $5,000 that a deacon at my church gave me. And on my demo tape, when I finished the album and I was trying to get record deals, no record companies called me back, nobody gave me a call back. And on my demo tape was silver and gold, he's able and he can handle it. While we sing when even on my demo tape. Because I just thought it was like a worship and praise song. I didn't think nobody really think it was a real song. And then when somebody heard it, they thought it was this great song. I'm thinking, I'm just talking. All I'm doing is talking. Nobody want to hear me talk. But 20 years later, I'm still talking. So, I think that my whole life ministry career is just a blueprint of God's grace because it's like I do albums, can't sing, and it's like I do all this stuff, but they're more talented people, more gifted singers and artists and all of that, so I'm just here because God's been real kind. And courage is being built now.
Thank you. I do want to put a plug in for November. You should come back. Homecoming.
She's gonna do that for everybody. She's gonna do that for everybody. Okay. All right. Okay, yeah. Are there any students that have questions also? This one. Hello.
Thank you so much for coming to our university today and for what you shared with us. I was blown away when I heard your music playing during Nelson Mandela's memorial service. And then to see that you were actually there just did something for me. Can you express to us how you felt to be a part of his going away memorial?
Yeah, that definitely was a major highlight of my life. I can't even deny that. And it was such a fluke. We landed in South Africa the day that Nelson Mandela passed. I was there for concerts. I was not there for that. And so while we were there, we had a series of concerts, one in Johannesburg, one in Durban, and another small city. And sadly, all the concerts were bad. They were like bad concerts. The promoter hadn't really done a good job when we got there, so nobody really knew we were in town. And we were getting into it with the promoter because we were checking the hotels and they were not ready. And so we were sitting in the lobby for 4 hours. And, it was just bad. It was just a horrible time. And I normally have a great time in South Africa, but this was a new promoter and it was just bad. And so we were ready to leave. We got back to Johannesburg and got a call saying that the government wanted to know would I mind staying over and being part of the event. And we let them know that we already checked our luggage. We already checked our luggage. They pulled our luggage off that plane. Because they can. And I went to a rehearsal that night with a choir and they taught me some Zulu and taught them my life is in your hands and I'm standing here the next day in the rain. And I gotta let y'all know, y'all gotta be proud of your president. Because when I was there, there were heads of state from all over the globe there. I want to let you know that when that U.S. motorcade pulled up, shut it down. And it was so beautiful to see this man of color pull up in this place of color and shut it down. I mean, you couldn't even sneeze. They snatch you up so quick, and it was just a very wonderful moment, just wonderful. But I think what was so wonderful is that, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. My 13-year-old son hit me, texted me and said, Daddy, when you come home, teach me everything about Mandela. Because you know, that's not part of their curriculum here.
Right.
You know, they're not, for Black History Month in these schools, it's very limited, it's very quick. And it's always about slavery. Always about slavery, And so he said, I don't know about him, can you teach me? So I was able to go home and just give him everything. And that made me so proud that at 13 he wants to know and needs to know. And it was so, I was very humble. And then my father-in-law, who was, raised during a time where, he's sitting over there and people that don't look like him, to say, because, I don't have a daddy. And to say, to get a text, son, I'm so proud. What was beautiful for me was my elders texting me. People older than me hitting me. Boy, you made me proud. Boy, you made me. Ooh! That right there, that's a big one. So, that it was, because I just want to make people proud of me. I just want to make people proud.
Hello. Hi. What would you say to students who didn't have motivation like you did, and they don't have a religious background, like to kind of push them, like outside course? Right. What would you say to them who just, they don't know what they want to do with it?
Gotcha. And you know what? That's a great question, because when you look at the climate of our younger generation, there are a lot of young people that's kind of, what do you want to do? I don't know. What you mean? I don't know. But they can tell you every song on the radio, tell you every dance, they can tell you about the nay-nay, they can tell you about every dance, they tell you, they tell you every dance you do, and I think that how I think that we're going to win people, baby girl, is not necessarily by coming up with some thesis for them. Is I think that how we're going to win this generation is it's going to take people that are willing to walk out life with people. You call it mentoring, you call it discipleship, whatever you want to call it. The only way that we're going to impact that next generation of students and young people, it is walking out life with them. It is allowing people to invade the private part of our lives. That part of our life that we're selfish because we work so hard all day and we want our time, we don't want nobody bothering us. That's got to go. If we're going to save our children, you got to come home from the studio and play Uno. Because if I don't play Uno, that message says to my 13-year-old that my work is more important than him. Just that small act. Just that small act of Uno. He'll never forget that. He'll never forget my daddy comes home and no matter what he's done, he plays Uno. So if you're a teacher, if you're a leader, if you're a grad student, whatever you are, allowing people to invade that tired part of your life, that part that you say, this is my time. I challenge everybody that has that mindset, well, this is my time, allow someone to invade that time. I believe that's the only way that we're going to impact people, is that you can preach and then leave, you can speak, then leave, you can give money, then leave, but people are impacted when you allow them to invade your private space. That's my humble view, because I've seen the impact.
Good afternoon.
What's up, brother?
I heard you say in your speech that you were diagnosed with ADHD when you were younger. I didn't really know what it was.
Well, this was interesting. I didn't find it out until my oldest son was diagnosed. And when they started going through the list of stuff, I'm listening to them going, that was me. Right. Because in the 80s, there was no diagnosis. Nobody was doing that.
I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 7 years old. I had difficulties growing up, but I came a lot of adversities. My question to you is, how do you stay grounded and stay focused with that?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. What I do is sometimes I believe in transparency. I think my problem is I talk too much. I think I tell too much of my business. But it works for me because I heal as I reveal. That's what works for Kirk, is I heal as I reveal. And so I'm the type of person that will go to the doctor quick. Well, most of our people won't. And then they find it too late. Well, I'm the type of person, you decide this bump, I'm gone. I'm there trying to figure it out. It's is I've learned to be transparent about my issues. If I'm in a meeting, I may say to the individuals, after a few minutes, I need to stand up. And I'm very honest about that. I'll say to someone in this conversation, I may ask you to repeat a couple of things for me again, because sometimes I miss them. And when I notice if I go in being transparent from the beginning, a lot of people they'll be patient through that process with you. But it's all about not being prideful, but being vulnerable to say, this is where I am, and this is the best way that I can serve you. So if you're patient with me, you'll get the best out of me. And my wife, she'll be talking to me sometimes, and I'll go off, and she'll go, hey, little ADD boy. Hey. but she loves me though. And I just learned that being very honest with people from the beginning has really helped me win in that area. Like if I get too antsy when I'm sitting down, what I'll do is I'll stand up. I'll stand up in the meeting. I won't be where I'm rude, but excuse me, I need to stand up for a second. And I think that will always help. You being honest with people gives you the platform to be able to help serve yourself, be able to serve them better. Does that help?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh man, thank you. And I appreciate you, trying to be able to walk through that. I'm very proud of you for even, realizing that this is a cross that you can bear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Franklin.
Hey.
My name is Rachel Brown, accounting graduated senior. My question for you is, I know that you have plenty of expertise, but what made you realize that music was your passion? And within there, how did you build that into a multi-million-dollar?
First of all, I'm just blown away that y'all really want to ask me questions. No, like y'all have no idea, because I don't see myself as somebody that come to school and people asking me questions. I'm blown away every time this happens. I'm like, they like really asking me stuff. I can't believe that I'm not done and they like gone. Really, but anyway, that's my whole thing. It's like, I can't believe it. It's like I want to record this on my phone. I just really, really, really need for you to know that I'm not that guy that has that plan. As I've gotten older, I've learned to develop a plan. But all I had at the beginning is I had passion. And I would use my pain in the music. But I didn't know I was using my pain in the music. I was just doing the music and the pain was coming out. And people started connecting to that. People, whether it's Now Behold the Lamb, or, My Life Is in Your Hands, or, He'll Take the Pain Away. These are just songs, Silver and Gold. And most of these songs I had when I was a teenager. So, these are just songs I was just, or like Take Me to the King. I didn't know, really Take Me to the King was a song I wanted to just, like when Tam asked, when I told Tam I wanted to do a song on her album, I didn't even have a song. I just wanted to do a song on her album. Because Tam and I, we had a bad falling out with the family. And I wanted to make it right because I was young, I was immature, and it was my fault. And I wanted to make it right with her. And so when she was ready for her song, I was like, God, I need to give Tam a song. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, God gave me Take Me to the King. I didn't know. So I wish I could impress y'all and make y'all think that I'm that guy that's so dope that I be coming up with all this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this over here, and I got a plan, I got a staff, and we're gonna strategize. I'm not that guy. Everything I have and everything I've ever accomplished, it has all literally been God's kindness and His grace. Wow. And I know that that's not very impressive, but that's all I've ever had.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I want to say 2 points. Mr. Franklin, what can you say to these young people in terms of getting them to prepare themselves to be able to give and to reach out to others as you have done? And because you don't have to be a celebrity to do that.
No doubt.
You're a celebrity, and I have met many celebrities. But I want to say this. You joke about your height, but you're a giant among many.
I'm trying to think what I can say that I haven't said. I will probably just reiterate that a life of selfishness is a very lonely life. That you can only do so much with your success and your money and prestige, whatever, until it suffocates you and kills you. God wants to be a blessing to us so he can be a blessing through us. And I think that my community, my people, that we should be so self-sufficient within our own race that there's enough information, knowledge, churches on every freaking corner.
Yes.
That our people should have that hope and that infrastructure so that we win at every level. And if we're not doing that, and what I just said, they said 20 years ago. King said it. Other great men and women have said it. But we're still not seeing that change. We're slowly seeing increments of it, but we ain't got that kind of time. This generation don't have that kind of time. And they need to see something that is tangible to them. I will tell you this. I was in South Africa. I was in Nigeria. I was in Nigeria almost 10 years ago and had breakfast with the president of Nigeria then. And we were there, and I told him about this idea that I have about taking young African-American men every summer to Nigeria. And I wanted them to work in Africa because I wanted them to feel the soil of where they come from. And I wanted to have some type of plan. And I still have this dream of taking every summer troubled young youth to Africa and letting them touch the soil, to see people that look like them, to see beautiful women walking around with baskets on their head, and, beautiful dark, full-lip women that ain't Botox. It's natural, and they're beautiful, and they're lush, and they're talented, and smart, and they're gifted, and I wanted them to see that. And he said something to me. He said there are two things that the Africans need to apologize to African Americans for. He said we need to apologize to them for slavery. And he said we need to apologize to them because when we could have been a big country and a great country, we let them down. He said you look at every other race, they have something they can look at and say that's ours. He said, but African Americans cannot look at Africa and go, look at that, that's ours. Something that we own, something that is ours, that is powerful, and it's healthy, and it's flourishing. And I just think that it's too unfortunate that young African Americans don't have something that is big and global that can say, that's ours. And every time we build it, we sell it. So that's my humble view. I don't want to talk to you because of your hair. You have nice hair and I have none, and it's not fair.
It's a real honor to be
Oh, your mic up. Oh, your mic back up.
But our chancellor here has raised awareness that we're trying to increase our amount of students that we have. And one of the things that I see as a big problem is our community and the environment, and the fact that there's not much to do in our community other than travel out to other cities that are distant. And so my question is, what are some ways that we can do that to help make our community more desirable and to bring more attention?
You mean the Pine Bluff community?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. I don't want to speak on anything that I'm not knowledgeable of. I don't have roots here within this community, but I can tell you that if there's anything that you as a community can ever think of with your new chancellor, I want you to know that I'll be more than happy to be involved. If there's anything that you guys ever come up with that can help further young people being motivated to go to college, I would love to be engaged in it. So.
Good afternoon.
What's up, man?
My name is DeVarius Thompson. I'm a senior criminal justice major. And I've noticed that often underprivileged youth are stereotyped and placed in a box. And with you and your relationship with the youth, I was basically wondering, can you describe to our, they are still our youth, they still belong to us, how important it is for them to look outside the box and to still fulfill their own purpose, regardless of what they're going through?
But I think that they go, well, first of all, I respect your question, but I humbly feel that it goes back to my statement a minute ago, is I think that we can preach that all we can. We gotta take them out of the box. They tired of hearing that. There's nothing about Jesus these young kids ain't never heard and seen wrong. They done sing all the negativity about the church. They sing all the negativity about our people. There are too many images of naked women and money and fame that's appealing to them because they don't want to hear anything about that. They want to make that money. So just like they are physically seeing what the negative is, now they got to physically see what the positive is. And so all the preaching and all the sessions and all the dictating to them and all the speeches, I really think that generation is tuning a deaf ear to that right now. They need to see it by action and engagement. I think that if we're not letting them come home and see how a husband and wife live their lives in front of their kids, they're not going to care about marriage. They're not going to care about life. If they don't see churches building people instead of buildings, they're not going to care about church. So, this is a let me see you do it generation. They're going to respond to what you do. They'll respond to what you say because they've heard it all and they're tired of the broken promises from their mouth. My generation let their generation down.
That's right.
That's right.
We don't want to admit that always, but we do. I have been in church so much that I've seen the church be a graveyard for a generation. We didn't build up youth programs for these kids. These kids should have been growing and having fun in their faith and having parties and getting crunk for God, having a good time. We didn't do that.
Right.
We didn't do that for this generation. And so we left them and we forgot them. We did. And so a lot of this is coming back on us. And we got to admit that. We have to admit that. Some of these kids just need to hear, they just need to hear, I'm sorry. Do you know what it would do to me as a 44-year-old man to still hear my daddy? If my daddy came to me right now and just said, son, I'm sorry. At 44 years old, changed the game for me. Not no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses. Just I'm sorry. And I think this generation needs that. They need, we sorry we got too caught up in the prosperity and they've been claiming, buying houses, buying cars from the 90s. The 90s was good to black folk. Black folk blew up. And we didn't always nurture that next generation. And I think we're seeing it. It's not too late, but it's going to be necessary of personal invasion. I believe personal invasion is the solution. And I'll finish by saying this. I have a 64-year-old man that for the last 20 years has mentored me. He's 64 years old. His name is Dr. Tony Evans. Dr. Tony Evans lets me come over his house. Dr. Evans lives in the same house around the corner from the church for the last 35 years. And he's a real doctor. He's not one of these, doc, kind of doc, and hey, doc. No, he's a PhD doctor. Humble. If I'm struggling in my marriage, he'll let me and Tammy come over and he'll counsel us. If I'm struggling in my manhood, looking at too many other young ladies, he'll challenge me. If I'm struggling with pride, he'll challenge me. He challenges me. And not only does he challenge me, he opens up his life to me so I get to go sit at his feet, ask questions about being a man. What is a man like? What is this? He allowed me to invade his life. A lot of what you see is a byproduct of him allowing me to engage his life. If every young person could have that, that is, I believe, the solution. How are you?
You close enough. Just speak loud.
Yeah, but so about to hear.
I don't need a microphone. Franklin D, everyone, how y'all doing? I know you're an advocate for many things. How can we, as a student body or we as a community, support you and what you're advocating for?
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you. And great job today.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to start coming back to Bluff some more. Wow. No, really, man. Thank you for the kindness, yo. Thank you. I really would like to find a way, and maybe you can help me, of how can I take what I'm trying to do and continue to make it cool for your generation, and to let me know what we're doing wrong, whether it's gospel rap or whether it's music to speak to your generation, or cultural things, whether it's clothing, whether it's TV shows, whether it's movies, whatever it is I think it would be dope if there was a panel of young thinkers that have like a kingdom mindset, but they still cool, because a lot of times kingdom people can be corny. You know what I'm saying? It'll be corny. Well, you know what I'm saying? It'll be corny. You speak to some Christian people, they talk like they're on another planet. Oh, blessed and highly favored. Don't nobody really talk like that. Oh, the devil is a lie. No, you hit your foot, it hurt. You hit your foot, it hurt. It was the bad, it was not the devil, And I think that this subculture of Christianity is making people not want it. You know what I'm saying? Your generation don't want that. Your generation, y'all killing the game, but y'all are killing the game for another world. I want y'all to kill the game for the kingdom. So my question is, how can we give y'all a platform where you can still be fresh to death, still be, 100, still kill the game with education, culture, fashion, design, style, but it leads people to think, man, God is cool, and you can be about something bigger that's positive, and it'd be cool. And I would love if there was like some type of young think tank that could help feed us what that looks like. Would that be dope? That'd be dope, I think.
All right.
Maybe it could be birthday UAPB.
Mr. Franklin, my name is Stephanie Tate.
And are you blessed and highly favored?
I am. I'm administrative specialist in career services. You spoke about your trip that you were delayed from when you were going to New York, and I would like you to say something else to encourage the students to know that, especially these that are graduating, to know that they're going to meet some stumbling blocks. But their being delayed does not mean that they're being denied, and encourage them in going forward.
Not at all. I was just sharing with this young man just a minute ago that a lot of times I've seen so many people come to the gym. Like, I love to see, because you can always tell new people when they come to the gym. New people come to the gym, they whole outfit match. You see, they whole outfit. The headband, the shoes, and they come in with their little water bottle, and they ready, and they be on the treadmill. And they're on the treadmill. You can't do the treadmill on your phone. You can't, you can't burn it. And they'll treadmill about 15 minutes and they ready to go. And it's like, but they mad that they're not getting results. Or they spend hours in the gym and then go eat something that counters everything that they've worked out on. Is I think that young people, you gotta understand something. The weights that God puts in your life are necessary for the development for the muscles that you need. You can't go look at the weights. You can't say, I'm going to lift the weights. You can't complain about the weights. You can't be dressed up for the weights. You got to lift the weights. That is the only way that the results you're looking for are ever going to happen. And the weights are intentional. They're not accidental. It's not that you did something wrong. Why me, God? Why not you? Why not you? Why not you to be the one to get your weight up so strong that you're able to make the impact that we're talking about doing? So I hope I helped.
You did.
I hope I helped. I like that. Big time. Thank you so much.